Good morning. Okay, so in the book The Talent Code by Daniel Coyle, he explains that in your brain you have something called myelin. And what myelin does is it wraps around the, and I may get this a little bit technically wrong, but basically it wraps around the connections between your neurons. So you have billions of neurons in your brain, or maybe it's 1 billion. And they're all connected in this giant web, and all of those connections can be insulated with myelin. The more you practice, and it has to be what he calls deep practice, where you're really intent on perfecting a skill, so you notice all of your mistakes and you work to correct them. You don't just go through the motions and say, well, I'll do it. Let's say you're trying to learn to play a song, which he talks about, he gives an example of in the book. Let's say you're trying to learn how to play a new song on an instrument, and you just, kind of skip by every mistake, and you may think, well, I just need to play through. In fact, I've heard people say this, just keep going. You're never going to improve if you keep stopping. And people will say, oh, just get through the song, and you just need to get it down and eventually you'll pick it up. That's actually not correct, scientifically not correct, because what improves skill, as he shows in his book, is that insulation. The insulation that wraps around the neurons, the connection between the neurons, increases bandwidth, basically. So it's like an intranet inside your brain. And as that insulation gets wrapped and gets thickened, the speed of the communication between the neurons increases, the accuracy of the timing increases, and timing is critical in skill. And so without that, you do not have skill. Skill can be directly correlated to the amount of myelin that you have wrapping between your neurons. And it's specific because different neurons fire when you're doing different things. If I raise my left hand or raise my right hand, there's going to be different neurons firing. If I play an instrument, there's going to be a lot of neurons that are working together for me to be able to play that instrument. But if I work in construction, I need to have a set of skills to be able to use the tools that I use in an efficient way without injuring myself, to where I've got it down, I know how to use all these tools. That's a different set of neurons. And so the more that I deep practice, focusing on mistakes and improving as I go, stopping and noticing, hey, I messed up, I need to correct this now, not just, hey, I'll fix it next time. That is what initiates the growth of myelin. And so only by doing that can I actually get better at something. If you think about a toddler who stands up and tries to walk and they fall down, and everything they've done up to this point has been leading to this moment where they're going to walk. They've had to learn to crawl, and crawling is an important piece of development in learning how to walk properly. But now they want to try to stand up and walk. And you've probably heard this a lot of times. It's sort of a motivational speech thing. A child has to be allowed to stand up and fall and stand up and fall and stand up and fall. If you always hold them, then they're not going to learn how to walk as quickly or as efficiently. They have to be in that situation where they can fall. If you think about that, if you put your kid in one of those walkers, you're actually not helping them learn how to walk properly, because they need to develop the coordination and the muscles to stand and step on their own. So you're actually limiting how many muscles and which muscles they can use when you put them in a walker. If you allow them to stand up, walk on their own, fall down, take a step, fall, struggle to stand and then fall back, then they're going to learn the coordination, and they're going to strengthen the muscles that need to be strengthened to walk well, to walk properly. So the things that we do to make life easier on ourselves or on our children